Yo guys, Rager Gaming here, and we are back with another top 5 for FIFA. Now, last time I did ask for opinions about whether or not I should just do the defence as a whole, and just have it where it's just like the left wing backs, right wing backs, left back, right back, centre back, that kind of thing, and just do a top 10 on them defensively, and then move on to midfield, then move on to strikers. But it was pointed out that it would probably be easier if I was doing 5 goalkeepers to keep it as a top 5, since it is, a top 5 series. A top 10 wouldn't make sense unless it was a compiled list. But I'm going to go with the top right backs and right wing backs, well, 5 of them, that I've played with in the draft or in a team. Now, the first one, obviously, you're looking at that and you're like, well, that's a bit weird that it's in Antonio Valencia, but he's actually a really good player, and he comes in at number 5. He's actually like, and this is his informed version, I'm sure. Or no, it isn't actually. I think I might be fucking up. It might be a right mid. Why do I think it's a right back? Anyway, his card is actually really ridiculous. Like, in the draft, I've had this so many times, and you kind of at first glance look at it and you're like, oh, Valencia, and then if you've ever played with him, you look at how he plays and you're like, oh, wait, he's actually really good. What the fuck going on here? It's a Man United player. And, that's not just because I'm an Arsenal fan, but it kind of is. But, he's actually got some really, really decent stats. I mean, like 83 physical is pretty OP. His defence could be better, but his pace is kind of there, for like a quite a pacey right back. But, he's actually not too bad. And I was quite sceptical about using him in drafts. Like, I always go with the Seamus Coleman or someone better, even though I didn't enjoy playing with him. It's just because I don't want to play with this card. And then when I finally did try him out, it just turned into an absolute machine. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's like the biggest hee haw I've ever seen. But anyway, for the surprise factor, he comes in at number 5 because he's just so much better than he's actually made out to be. So moving on to number 4, we have Brzezinski. Now, Brzezinski has kind of the same pace as Valencia. I can't believe I was about to call him Enner Valencia again. Anyway, fucking hell. So Brzezinski. I'm not too sure if it's right backs with pace or if it's right backs that have really bad defensive and physical, but somehow turn out to be an absolute machine. Like, this guy is shrugging people off the ball left, right, and centre, and he's only 5'10". Like, you didn't see that anywhere else. Like, it just doesn't happen. But somehow this boy has like a hidden strength steroid fucking pill thing up his arse, and it's just uh, it's actually mind blowing to actually think that this boy is out strengthening the likes of Lacazette and Andy Carroll, because I've played against people that do use Andy Carroll, which is fucking ridiculous. But regardless, it's no, it's really hard to say. It's really like, say you had a BPL team, right, and you had the likes of Benteke or Andy Carroll or Lukaku, someone that's actually strong and 9 times out of 10 you're going to outstrength them. Brzezinski cuts that 9 times out of 10 down to fucking 6. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. You have to use them. You really, really have to use them. I've never used them in a team. I've used them in a draft, but it really is one of the cards that you really need to see to believe. Quite like Valencia, but you need to play with this card because, he's better than Lam because of the pace. Maybe not the strength, but he's better than the pace. He's taller than him. It's, I could go on for days. Anyway, I'm not going to go on for days. He is number 4. Number 3 is Inform Florenzi. Now, we're getting into the business class of this list. I mean, I say that, but there's only 5, and after the first 2, you're always getting into business class at this end. But still, taking the bronze medal, if there was one, is Florenzi. This is probably one of the first cards to join the Hullet squad. And if nobody knows, or anybody that's watching this is either too young or retarded to actually know what the Hullet squad is, or Hullet, whatever you want to say it, he's for the Netherlands, doesn't really matter, is when somebody has 80 stats across the board. So, he's got like the 80 defense, 80 physical, he's just scraping by, but every other stat on his card is over 80. That's when you're doing something right. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a really, really good card. Like, you've got the likes. These are the kind of people that you have to contest with when you're either building a squad or when you're doing a draft. These are the kind of people that you have to pick between. So you've got Florenzi, right? Serie A wise, you've got Dani Alves. You've also got that Perez that's a right wing back who I was so close to putting as number 5 if Valencia didn't take it. You know, but this is a truth list. This is all my opinion. And there was one other con, Abate, right? You've got Abate, Dani Alves, Perez, or Florenzi. So out of they four, for informed Florenzi to be the only one out of the Serie A that's made this list, spoiler alert, obviously, there is obviously something he is doing right. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is insane. His shooting is ridiculous. He could pass and dribble a ball, as you could see. He could outstrength somebody. He's got the defensive mindset. He could also join the attack with high medium, and he's got 87 pace. The boy is incredible. Now, obviously, being an informed Florenzi, I've only used him in the draft with his informed card. However, I have actually used his right back normal card in a Serie A team that I did have. So, you know, it's going from the right back card, the normal card, which I could have also put in this list, which could have took up 2 spots easily. But I've decided to go with his informed card because of the amount of times I've used him in a draft, and I've picked him over Dani Alves, over, you know, getting a hybrid or trying to make a hybrid with like Walker or just anybody with pace. This guy is the person you want if you are building a Serie A squad. He is amazing. We're going to leave it like that. We're not going to ramble on too much per player, even though I already have. Fuck it. Number 3 goes to Florenzi. Number 2 is probably the most surprising out of every single thing, and you might not have heard him. You might not have heard of him unless you are a Burnley fan or just know too much about football. This guy is literally the only person in this entire list that is silver, and he is ridiculous. He is the single-handed reason in my defensive line, you know, to catch people and stuff like that, that I am actually qualified for the Foot Champions this weekend, and his name is Dariqua. The boy is absolutely incredible. Like, with the stats he has, right, he's only got 2 half-decent stats. He's 89 pace, right? Bearing in mind, if you look top right corner, I have paid 1.8k, and he has essentially got the same pace. He's pacier than Klein, who goes for about 10k, maybe no now, he probably goes for 7.5k now. And Walker, who potentially goes for over 10k, but I'm not too sure about now. Yeah, the only other one is his physical, and it's 76, but he's out muscling people off the ball and putting in standing tackles that you would only expect from a rare gold. The boy is literally, I've only started using him for this weekend league. Like, I had to get a right back because, you know, you had that 3 La Liga Santander players in your team, so I had to swap it around a bit. I had to make sure there was an English right back. I checked all of them. I went down to silvers just to see if there was anybody with pace. Dariqua was the very first person that caught my eye, and he's just been an absolute tank. There's nothing else to say. He's high medium, so he's essentially a right wing back slash right mid if you play him in that kind of way. It's incredible. He's actually incredible, and it's amazing to think I've only started using him like 2 days ago or yesterday. It's not even been long at all. I've not been with him long. I've played 11 games. He's picked up 4 yellow cards, fair enough. But the majority of the time, he's sitting getting like over 8 overall ratings when you're a right back. It's incredible. The boy is phenomenal. You literally need to play with this card to believe. And obviously, with him only being, you know, under 2k, you're obviously going to be able to afford him. He is ridiculous, and he comes in at number 2. Now, there was a few honourable mentions that I did have for certain leagues. We did have Aurier. We were going to put Aurier in, but just mainly because he's the best I was about to say La Liga League One player for right back positions, unless you obviously find better people. Then you also have the likes of Piszczek. I was going to add him, but I haven't played as much as I would like to see what he's like. You know, you have to play a few matches at least. And there was also the possibility of putting Walker in, which I mentioned before, but the fact that Dariqua is cheaper than him it obviously seems like a better option. You know what I mean? So Dariqua takes number two. They are some honourable mentions. We're probably going to do that for all the other, centre backs, left backs, that kind of thing. And number one for the best right back, in my opinion, on the game so far is, and this is quite easy because I'm an Arsenal fan, Hector Bellerin. If you do not like using this boy's card, there is something far wrong with what you do. Like, obviously this is a draft that I've used him in because he goes for like fucking 30k or something, or I don't know if he still does, but who the fuck has 30k these days? 95 pace. It is actually ridiculous how fast this guy is. And with 68 physical, he literally just he outstrengths people that he shouldn't really be able to outstrength. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Brzezinski. Brzezinski only has what 70 physical, and the boy outstrengths everything. It is the exact same as Bellerin, except Bellerin's obviously dearer because he's worth it, and he's literally just outstrengthened the entire competition. There is not one person on the pitch he cannot catch if he is in the right position. If he's playing like just in between centre back and right back, he's in that little small pocket of a gap, and you have informed striker Ronaldo bound in, up the pitch. You think he's going to score. Bellerin pops out anywhere, puts on the turbo, and fucking houses the bitch. It is ridiculous how good he is. And fucking being an Arsenal fan, there's nothing else better than seeing him top performing on a day, you know, on actual live football or on FIFA because it just makes you smile. You're like, how the fuck did we manage to get this cunt? You know what I mean? He's amazing. So, without further ado, that has been the top five. Basically, to reiterate the top five is Antonio Valencia as number five, Brosinski is number four, Inform Florenzi is number three, number two goes to Dariqua, who I still recommend to anybody to try the card, and number one is Hector Bellerin. In that order. Anyway, that has been the top five for right backs and right wing backs, although there's not really any right wing backs in the thing, but just in case there was. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, that kind of thing. Turn notifications on to see more content like this. Drop your top five right wing backs and everything like that in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.